Hi, welcome back to my channel. It's Siobhan at Bow Books. I usually do book reviews. I talk about writing or fandom or anything else I feel like on this channel. For once I'm actually having a drink with me because my voice always gets so croaky when I'm talking and I never like stop and have a drink and then I start coughing. I'd also like to apologise for the light, and I've got my windows open and it's like 2 o'clock in the afternoon and my light is already on. So I thought I'd do something a little bit different this time around, because I've talked about like before how I like certain authors and I really enjoy the works they've done, and I thought I would cover one of the authors I really rate and review all the books I've read of theirs. It's not all of their books, it's not all the ones I have, but it's all the ones I've read so far and enjoyed. So this is a profile on Cat Clarke. Cat I met once at Yauk. I think I got her to sign Undone actually. Yeah, so that was cool. And also, if you didn't know, that's how you spell Siobhan. Starbucks, never get it right. Oh, actually no, they did once recently and I was like, but they did not call the right name out. So I'll just read the blurb for Undone. It's probably a little bit different to some of the others because it's one of her earlier books. I think it's her third book. Yeah, Torn and Entangled were before. Entangled was the first one I read. Have I read Torn? Yes, I think. Yeah, I've read that one. I was thinking of something else. Yeah, no, that's the one I was thinking of for that one. Have I read Torn? We will find out. Anyway, go back onto the topic. So, this is fun, doesn't it? Her blurb. Cat Clarke was born in Zambia and brought up in Scotland and Yorkshire, which has given her an accent that tends to confuse people. Cat has written non-fiction books about exciting things like cowboys, sharks and pirates, and now writes young adult novels, usually about teenagers being mean to each other. Her first novel, Entangled, won the Redbridge Teenage Book Award and was longlisted for the Branford Bowes Award. So, Entangled was the first one I read. It was the first one she wrote. It was really interesting. So, let's see if I remember the whole plot. I don't remember what happened. Something bad happened at the start of the novel. And the main character doesn't remember. She just wakes up in this room. It's white. It's just a table and chair and a stack of papers and a pen. And then her guardian angel comes in and he starts talking to her and they like, you know, kind of play off each other. There's something wrong with his eye at one point, and then later on she hurts his eye and it, you know, time doesn't quite make sense, but she's kind of using the pen and paper at that desk to write exactly how she got to the point where she was in this white room. And it turns out she's actually in a coma because of the thing that happened at the start, and she's trying to piece together what happened to lead to that point, and you know, kind of it is playing on like people's faults, people's responsibilities, taking accountability for the things they do and don't do, which I try and be good about, but you know, every now and again I'll hear like a conflicting view and it's like, it does make me pause for a moment, but I think you should always take accountability for your part of things, which often leads to like me being way too nice about other people. So yeah, I thought the first thing that grabbed me was just like the coloration of this book. I don't think so much the spine. I think it was like more like these swirls and the red against the white, and you know, it kind of plays into the novel not only with her hair but with like things that happen and what that represents, which I'm not going to go into. But yeah, it really grabbed me. Like Cat's use of language, oh my god, the pages are so yellow. Cat's use of language is just incredible, and I think I need to read it again actually. I'm trying to see how long the chapters are. Oh, they're not too bad, so that's probably another thing that I loved about the Cat's books when I first read them. Yeah, since that was the one I got muddled up with. So this kind of takes place in a boarding school, if I'm right. Again, it's like you know, this girl's lost her twin sister, this new girl comes in, she kind of seems to be replacing the twin sister a little bit, and that doesn't sit well with the main character. But after a while they start talking, and you know, it could have gone really badly, it could have been like a crime novel, but it ends up like this really good, affirming, like ode to friendship sort of thing. And yeah, I really love this story. I love that it completely took me by surprise how it ended, and you know, it gets a little bit creepy, but never too creepy. That's what someone put in the back. Who was that? Sarah Crossan. Oh yeah, it's I've already said I love both those authors, and they rate her too, so you know, good taste all round. I don't think I've got much else to say about that story. It was just really good to read. Cat's really good at suspense, and also like good characterization, but also an incredible plotline, which is really rare for an author to get both down. I kind of want to save that one to last because I love Undone the most. So do I remember? Oh. No, I do remember this one. This is the one with the well, isn't it? Yeah. So, okay, this is sort of the one I was thinking of. I think I got the two combined for a little bit in my head. But basically, this school goes on a school trip. One girl gets really annoying, and this group of friends kind of throw her into the well. I think she gets hurt beforehand, and they leave her in there to die. And they cover her body with rocks, and then it's just kind of like the psychological aspect of keeping that secret and knowing that this person is like in a really bad place, in a really bad way. Oh, it says that she was mean and cruel, that's why they did it, not annoying. Just, you know, get that bitch. Sorry for the cussing. Yeah, so it's kind of like a Mean Girl story, but like really Mean Girls, like not the Rachel McAdams, Lindsay Lohan Mean Girls story, like really mean. But I think at the end something comes good. I can't remember if what the outcome is. I just read a little bit and it was like a really sarcastic bit of dialogue. But yeah, I think that compared to Girlhood was a really good like juxtaposition of like how cruel girls can be, but how well they can support each other as well. I don't know what's up with my throat today. Like at work I wear a mask, so I don't usually do makeup and stuff like that. But it just dries me out so much. Then talking to customers, like I don't actually chat that much. Oh, and you may have noticed, by the way, I took the garland down. I didn't, it fell off, and then like I used tape and it's kind of pulled off the veneer of my bookshelf, so yeah. So this is The Lost and the Found. There's another story that's like really big. It's called Girl Missing. I can't remember who it's by, but I know I have a copy of it somewhere. But I've got way too much stuff on my bookshelves to look. So this is kind of that sort of story. You know, or like The Lovely Bones. But if The Lovely Bones was told by the main character's sister. So the main character lost her sister a long time ago. She went missing. They never found her. And then all of a sudden, like she's a teenager now, and this girl comes back into their lives and says that she's the sister, and that, you know, she was in this situation and it's not that far away from them, in this derelict building, and this guy was really abusive to them, and there's just something not quite right about her, and only the sister seems to suspect her. Parents are just so glad that they've got their daughter back and no one else is questioning her. And, you know, once again, there's a twist. Like, Cat Clarke is the queen of twists, I swear. It just, oh, it got me. I think it's an interesting take as well, because a lot of people talk about more the actual act itself, or you know, if they're narrating it, they're narrating it from the perspective of the victim, but to have the victim's sister go through it all, and you know, she wants to be happy she's got her sister back, but has she really got her sister back? What's going on? And it gets really where did my voice just go? It gets really sad at one point. But I loved it anyway. I think I just like burned through this one. I think the font's quite big as well. Like there are some books out now where it's like dyslexic friendly and they use like yellower paper and bigger font, and I think this is kind of like borderline on that. Especially if you look at like the type compared to Melville. It's just worse. So the final one I've read, I've got Kiss in the Dark, and I think I've got another one. It's not going to tell me. But I haven't read them yet. No, I think I've got all of them up to the last one. So this is about a girl who loves her best friend, but her best friend is out of the closet. They go to this party, and then something happens, and he kills himself. And then, you know, she tries to work out who could be responsible for him doing that, what happened at the party to make that happen. And she gets this idea in her head that she's going to seek revenge on these people, and she does some really dark things. Like there's one point where she's trying to get sympathy from one of the guys she really hates, that she wants on side, and she's like, you know, I know you're trying to like make out with me, but I've been like R-worded before, and I could see it coming, I could see it building. I was like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And then it happened. I was like, she did it. But it makes so much sense for the character that you kind of, you know, even though you hear about people doing that sort of stuff, and it's such a minority situation, like when it happens in this book, it is totally, it totally makes sense. It's not rationalized well. You know, there's still no defense of acting that way, but it worked for the narrative and for the way the character acts. And you know, she actually ends up with a real shot of happiness at one point, but she's so involved in her plan that she doesn't back out, and she actually ruins her own chance of moving on and getting past it, even when she finds out the truth and that everything she's done has been, you know, targeting the wrong people and hurting the wrong people. She just can't stop. And yeah, I just, so I'm reading the backs again, like words are in front of me and I will read. I love the story so much, just to see it all develop, and then, you know, the outcome of it all. And you know, you can only, you know, it's basically like revenge is not the way forward, and you should always find out all the facts before you make your judgment call. And just because one person says one thing, it doesn't mean that you should stick with that. That opinion is only an opinion, and it doesn't mean that that is the truth, you know. And I think it's really well done because it's not preachy at all, but that's kind of the undercurrent that you get from the main character's behaviour, that she should have done these things to give herself that happiness and trust that what was happening was right for that moment, and not sabotage it all on an out-of-date revenge plan. So yeah, I've only read 5 of her books. I think she's got 7 or 8, but like I said, she tackles really difficult topics. She does it in a way that you really buy into the characters. The plot lines are so well thought out and developed. They're very sensitive to the subject matter, and they're just so readable. And then there's always a twist at the end that you might see come in, but I never did. So yeah, totally rate Cat Clarke, and I hope you enjoy it if you ever read one of her books. Like I said, this is my favourite one, Undone, but Torn was my first. But The Lost and the Found, they're all good. They're amazing books, and she's an awesome author, and she's actually such a lovely lady. When I told her about like being so worried about that scene, she was like, I was worried about writing it, but I was like, it works though, it does work. It's awful to read, but it works. So I'm going to leave it here. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for sticking with me this long, and I will see you next time. Bye.